Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sanghera. I'm the owner of Lotus MD Longevity and Wellness. It's an aesthetics and medical practice. I wanted to make this video to give a huge shout out to Anthony and the team at Architected Relations. When I first started, I had the clinical expertise and the vision for what I wanted to build, but what I didn't have was a system to get patients in the door consistently. So we had no reliable way to generate new appointments and honestly no clear idea of which direction to go with marketing. I knew I needed help, but I wasn't quite sure what the right solution was and what it looked like. So every month felt uncertain. I was doing everything I could to think of, but just the results weren't consistent, and I had no way of tracking what was actually working. So what stood out to me was when Architected Relations, they weren't just talking about running ads or getting more followers. They were actually talking about building infrastructure behind the business. And as a physician, I think in systems. I understand good outcomes require the right foundation, the right processes, the right follow through. So what Anthony presented to me was exactly the kind of thinking that applied to patient acquisition and business growth. It felt like bringing in someone who understood how a real business grows and what it needs to operate. And honestly, the results just were so much more than I had ever predicted. In January alone, we brought in 70 new patients. That's not a number I would have ever believed was possible. The following month, we brought in 120 new patient appointments. What Architected Relations built for us is essentially an automated front office that runs around the clock. So when a potential patient reaches out, whether it's through our website, through Google, through an ad, the system and AI handles it immediately. It answers their questions, nurtures the conversations, and then it books the appointment automatically. My team doesn't have to chase anyone down. Patients were finding us organically through Google. They were also coming in through paid channels. These were both working simultaneously and feeding into the same system. One of the things that surprised me the most was patients were prepaying and the appointments were booked before they even came in. The booking and the payment system we had in place created the level of commitment from patients upfront. And that changed the entire dynamic of how we operated day to day. The growth that we experienced directly led us to opening a second location. And that was a goal I had, but I didn't think that I could do it this quickly. So before, there was always underlying anxiety about where the next patient was coming from. Every inquiry that didn't get followed up felt like a missed opportunity we would never get back. And now the system handles that. When a prospective patient reaches out, they hear back immediately. They follow up about what happens automatically. The booking process is seamless. By the time they come in for their appointment, they have already committed to a prepayment and they've arrived prepared and ready. My team is focused on delivering excellent patient care rather than chasing leads and managing following up manually. That shift alone has been transformative for how we operate. I also have complete visibility into what's happening. I can see exactly where patients are coming from, what it's converting to, and what needs attention. The transparency was something I didn't have before, and it just changes and makes decisions as a business owner. If you're running a practice or an appointment-based business and you're struggling with consistently with getting new clients through the door and feeling like your marketing is just costing you so much money, then I would 100% tell you that having a conversation with Architected Relations before you spend another dollar is what you need to do. What they build is not a campaign. It's not a quick fix. It's the infrastructure your business needs to grow in a way that's sustainable and that you can actually measure.